Instagram success is all about persona. Make no mistake, if you want your marketing campaign on Instagram to be successful, you have to build a persona for your brand. This is non-negotiable. It doesn't matter whether you are trying to get free traffic from that platform or you are paying for ad views, you have to build a persona. How come? Why is a personal touch or a personal brand so important? Can't you just create an account, post pictures, and somehow, some way, people would follow you? Well, here's the truth. People on Instagram do not follow hashtag poachers en masse. They really don't. Sure, you can attract a few people here and there, but if it's obvious that your persona really has nothing to do with the hashtags you constantly target, not enough people will follow you. And the ones that do probably are not going to take you all that seriously. They look at you just as a source of the kind of content that they're looking for and nothing more. Believe me, that's the wrong kind of relationship to build. You want to be viewed as a credible and authoritative persona, so people will give you the benefit of the doubt when you recommend a product to them. That's the bottom line. That's how you make money. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen if you do not have a persona. Please understand that these people are not just following marketers. It's not like they're searching for marketers because they have nothing else better to do. They're looking to develop some sort of relationship. Think of it as building a fan base. There's a reason why Kim Kardashian and other celebrities on Instagram can get away with charging thousands of dollars per shout-out. People are devoted to them. People follow them very closely because of the persona they have built. You have to do the same. The challenge of commercial persona building on Instagram. It would be easy if your persona is all about you. For example, if you're big into marathon running or you love going from country to shop at different malls, you can create a personal, non-commercial persona. In that case, people follow because of your personality and your truly unique way of looking at the world. To a certain degree, people would want to check out the products you endorse. But this doesn't necessarily mean that a high percentage of people who follow you would take your recommendations. To make that happen, you have to create a niche-specific persona. If you have an online store that you're promoting, your persona must be specific to the product niche of your store. This is the first step. Create a niche-specific persona. Second, make sure that it can attract a real following. This is the second part of the puzzle, and the steps below, and the rest of this training, teach you how to create that following and make money from it. In a nutshell, here are the 6 steps that you would need to follow to build a solid Instagram brand persona. You need to follow these 6 key steps. Now, I'm not saying that these are one-size-fits-all type of suggestions. I'm not saying that you must follow these to the letter. You obviously have to tweak and customize them to fit your set of circumstances. Still, you need to follow these 6 steps for you to succeed in building a real following on Instagram. This is just an overview. I'm going to devote one video to each of these steps. Step number 1, find your competitors on Instagram and reverse engineer them. Step number 2, curate top-notch content and mix in your reverse engineered content. Step number 3, adopt a content-first sales funnel. Step number 4, use Facebook's ad retargeting system to pull Instagram users deeper into your funnel. Step number 5, pay and interact with niche-specific Instagram influencers. Step number 6, continuously optimize all parts of your funnel. Now that you have an overview of what you need to do, let's dive in, starting with video 4. Again, the strategy here is to build a credible niche-specific persona and create a following for that persona. This is how you will get traffic. This is how you will get visitors to your target site, which you can then optimize for maximum conversions. At the end of the day, all the traffic in the world is not going to make you wealthier. You know what will? Conversions. There are tons of websites out there, in particular imgur.com, that get a lot of traffic, but they make very little money compared to the huge volume of traffic they get. If you own an online store, you need to focus on conversions because that is what will put food on your table and nothing else. Use Facebook's ad retargeting system to pull Instagram users deeper into your funnel. This is my secret weapon when it comes to Instagram. Make no mistake, if you followed all the steps above and you used a multi-page strategy to build up your mailing list, you will achieve some level of success. However, if you want to turbocharge your results, you need to deploy Facebook's ad retargeting system. How does ad retargeting work? When you retarget ads using Facebook, you first install Facebook's pixel on your website. You then go about promoting on Facebook and Instagram. And when people find themselves on your site after clicking on a profile link, the pixel keeps track of where they landed. Now that the system knows which Instagram or Facebook users ended up on your site, you can take out a retargeting ad. This ad can promote a deeper page, or it can promote your mailing list directly. Whatever the case may be, when people who have visited your site go back to Facebook or Instagram, they start seeing your ads. This is like shooting fish in a barrel. You're essentially reminding them to come back. When they click, they can go to a deeper page so you can build more credibility, or you can even direct them to buy a product. That's right, they go to a sales page. Regardless of how you do it, retargeting works. In fact, according to some estimates, it can boost conversions by 40%. The bottom line is that you use content to draw truly interested people. They wouldn't be clicking the content if they were not interested. But you have to set up your retargeting in such a way that only people who go past the initial page of your website are retargeted. For example, you run a free Instagram marketing campaign. You post reverse-engineered content on your account to build up a following. Enough people like your content so they click on your profile page and they see a link to a really useful article. They click through and they end up on an article, and Facebook Pixel is paying attention to them. However, you're not going to be retargeting those people. That's still too shallow. When they click through because they liked your particular solution and they want to know more about that solution, they end up on a solutions page. This may be a sales page, or this can also be another consumer guide page. Whatever the case may be, they have gotten deeper into the guts of your website. These are the people you should retarget because these are the people who have demonstrated real interest. People who are just curiosity seekers would just end up on a shallow page. They would begin there and they would end there. People who are really looking for a solution would click page after page on your website. Those are the people who are more likely to convert. Dear valued customer, would you like to discover a shortcut to turbocharging your results with Instagram? If so, pay close attention to this very limited, special offer. You will only see this once. First off, thanks so much for purchasing the guide that will teach you all the skills you need to build a real following on Instagram. If you follow the step-by-step guide, you will be heading straight to that goal. But what if you could do it even faster? And what if you could ensure that you get the absolute best results possible and stay focused? In short, making sure that this is a real success. Now, the good news is that you can. For a limited time, you can get access to the video upgrade to the guide you just purchased at a very low price. This powerful upgrade will make it easier to get started and stay committed to your ultimate goal. Just to be clear, this is an exclusive upgrade for customers only. Why do you need to upgrade to the video version of the Modern Instagram Marketing Guide? Did you know that most people learn a lot faster when they see something being done on video other than just by reading about it? That's because most people out there are visual learners. How do you normally learn the best? Although the guide you just purchased gives you a step-by-step approach to building a real following on Instagram, experience tells us that it requires learners to pay very close attention to the details to get the best possible results. If you miss any of the most important details or do things the wrong way, you may miss out on the full benefits offered inside the guide. For that very reason, I've put together a video version to make it easier to get positive results quickly. The video version of the guide you just purchased will help you avoid missing any important key details that you might miss by only reading the guide. Stay focused and accountable and follow through and make sure you get ongoing results. Ensure that the work you put in now keeps on giving you benefits long into the future. Introducing the Modern Instagram Marketing Video Course. Are you ready to learn all the skills you need to start building a real following on Instagram a lot faster? If the answer is yes, click the link below. Of course, you're probably wondering how much this is going to cost, right? Well, first off, cost is the wrong word. This upgrade is an investment that will pay for itself many times over. This is the next best thing to having an expert on the subject right beside you, showing you how it's done. Of course, hiring an expert would easily set you back hundreds of dollars. Luckily, you're not going to have to invest anywhere near that today to get the next best thing. Not only will you avoid many of the most common mistakes that people make when trying to build a real Instagram following, you'll notice immediate positive results in your achievements. And it's about to get even better. When you upgrade today, you'll also get this exclusive fast action bonus. Fast action bonus, high quality MP3s of the entire video version of the training, valued at $27. Don't have time to watch videos? I'm also providing you with 10 MP3s that you can use while you're on the go. Listen to them in the car, at home, or even at the office. All day, every day. And here's what's really great about this. You don't have to decide anything today. You get a full 30 days to go through the video training and decide if this is really for you. If for any reason, or no reason at all, you're not 100% satisfied with everything you get inside, simply let me know, and I'll refund every penny of your tiny investment. No questions asked. Here's how to get instant access to the video version today. Simply click the link below, enter your information, and you'll get instant access to the entire video training version plus the fast action bonus MP3s. But please don't wait. You must grab this right now. In fact, if you close this page, you may never have the opportunity to upgrade to the video version of this ever again at an investment this low. Are you ready to make things happen a lot faster? If you prefer to learn by being shown how to do something and you want to get results quickly, this is for you. If you're really serious about turbocharging your results with Instagram, this is for you. And if you're one of those people that's a visual learner, you need this. Here's to becoming the most productive you that you can be. Remember, if you close this page, you may never see this again at such a low investment. There's no risk. Try this out for 30 days and then decide if it's for you. It doesn't get any easier than that. Best practices. Adopt the following best practices to make sure you get the most bang for your buck from Instagram. Document your efforts. Make sure you write down what you're doing. This way you can have a written record. You can also conduct more experiments. You'd be surprised as to how many awesome ideas you come up with. Unfortunately, if you keep coming back to the same failed idea over and over again, you're basically just chasing your tail. Document your efforts so you can run experiments and then fail quickly. This way, you can weed out bad ideas as soon as possible so you can focus on the ones that actually produce success. Focus on numbers. Don't go with your gut feeling. Focus on what the actual statistics of your results are. Focus on numbers because numbers do not lie. Start with influencers using a slow and low strategy. I know I've said this before in the section about influencers. However, this is so important that it is worth repeating. Contact as many influencers as possible, but pay them a low rate. The ones who take you up on your offer and run your ads will then weed themselves out. How? Well, each ad you run has a custom code or discount code or redemption code. You will be able to see which ones actually produce results. You then come back to those people, pay them more so they can scale up your campaign. They obviously are real and they're credible enough with their followers for them to drive actual sales. Optimize using an elemental approach. I've already discussed this in video 9, but you have to understand that you have to optimize going from element to element. This increases the chances that you won't be chasing your tail. This reduces the chance of repeating the same mistake over and over again. Use an elemental approach so you can increase your ad campaign's overall effectiveness. Adopt a content-first sales funnel. By content first, what I mean is that your sales strategy must turn on content. In other words, you use quality content to qualify the traffic you get from Instagram so they are more likely to become paying customers. This is crucial because a lot of marketers on Instagram use it as a traffic pump. That's all it is to them. It's just a place where they can get clicks. And if those clicks do not turn into buyers, no big deal. There's more where that came from. That's their attitude. Well, the problem with that strategy is that you burn through a tremendous amount of traffic before you can get a sale. What if I told you that you can pull less traffic, but actually make more money with a lower volume of traffic? This happens all the time. This is not theory. This is not speculation. This happens all the time. How? Using content to qualify your traffic. Make no mistake, Instagram and successful social media marketing turn on content marketing. You can't just pull traffic from all these places and expect that traffic to convert. That traffic must trust you. Those are real people. They must be made to feel that they know and like your brand enough for them to trust it. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen instantly. It has to go through a sequence of content. Make no mistake, raw traffic doesn't convert at a high enough return on investment. It simply doesn't. Because if this was the case, then everybody would stop wasting their time on content. They wouldn't bother. They would just buy raw traffic. But this isn't the case. Experienced marketers on Facebook and Instagram use a content-based sales funnel strategy. In other words, they use content marketing. The truth is, content marketing is more compatible with social media traffic, regardless of whether you buy ads or you drum up free organic traffic from Instagram and other social media platforms. The KLT process. Let me ask you, when was the last time you bought something from a complete and total stranger? That's right. This person just came up to you on the street and tried to sell you stuff. I'm willing to guess that this happens once in a blue moon. If you're like most people, this probably has never happened. Well, you're absolutely normal if that's your mindset. Why? Most people buy from people they think they know and trust. That's the bottom line. That is the bedrock of any kind of sales. I don't care whether it's done online or offline. It doesn't matter whether a small company or a big company is doing it. It's all about trust. When you use a content-based sales funnel strategy for Instagram, you build trust. This requires multiple pages. I wish I could tell you that you just need 2 pages to pull this off. I wish I could tell you that you just need to get people to a general consumer guide and then they would reliably click through to the sales page and they would buy stuff. That's wishful thinking. Now, don't get me wrong, this happens from time to time. I know it happens to me quite a bit, but I cannot bank on that. What I can bank on is trust. How? When people from Instagram find their way to my website, they land on a consumer page that addresses their needs. They're looking for answers. They're looking for solutions. So they get all this information and then they can click through for more finely tuned, more efficient, or better value solutions. When you do this, you build credibility and authority. You also control the conversation. You then offer them a freebie to join your mailing list. Once they join your mailing list, that's when the real selling begins. You already have them in the palm of your hand. You then drip feed them content to open their mind to their needs and get them excited about premium solutions. The more of these premium solutions you sell them, the more money you make. The best part of having a mailing list is that this asset grows in value over time. When you send an update, you may not be able to convert them right then and there, but you get another chance to convert them when you send out another update. Fast forward this to many months or even years, and you can see why every single person on your list can potentially turn into dollars later on. None of this is possible without the KLT process. You have to walk the visitor to the point where they trust you. Working a multi-page strategy. Once you pull traffic from Instagram to a page on your site, you have to have links in that initial content that would take them to a page that would further build their trust. For example, if people are just looking for basic information, the first page they would land on let them know of certain options out there. Once they are excited about a particular option, they can click another link that would take them to a page that talks about a specific type of option, which they obviously already like. This page then gives enough details that they build trust. At this point, you can then recruit them to your squeeze page and let your mailing list do the selling. You can also give them the answer in the form of a freebie in exchange for them signing up for your email list. Whatever the case may be, you walk the visitor through the trust stage. This can be very quick with some people. Others require a longer time span. Whatever the case may be, when you have a mailing list at the end of the sales funnel, you have greater control over your messaging. You also control the pace of the messaging. This higher level of control translates to greater conversion control later on. Conclusion. Instagram is a traffic goldmine. It really is. There's really no other way to describe it. However, you need to follow the tips I mentioned here and customize them to fit your particular set of circumstances. If you were to do that, you can turbocharge your results with Instagram. The best part? You don't have to pay all that much money to get a lot of results. You don't have to fail. In this video, I want to get your mind right. You have to understand that if you're going to be promoting on Instagram, you're going to be engaged in a big deal. It's going to take quite a bit of your time, focus, and energy. I don't want you to fail. Unfortunately, a lot of people go into this in a very casual way. They think that it's all about following some sort of recipe or checklist. They think that it's all about taking actions in a certain sequence and things will pretty much fall into place. Boy, are they in for a nasty surprise. Things don't work out that way. You have to approach this with the right mindset. Otherwise, your chances of failure are going to be quite high. Follow the tips below so you can properly prepare. Again, you do not have to fail. You don't have to follow the pattern most of your competitors go through. You can succeed, but you have to get your mind right. Have the right mindset. The first thing that you need to understand is that you have to believe that this is going to work. I can't even begin to tell you how many otherwise seasoned veteran entrepreneurs I coach who constantly sabotage themselves. They come across a hot new money-making idea on the internet and they automatically tell themselves that this is a scam. This works for other people, but not me. This is too good to be true, and on it goes. They're excited about it. They read book after book about it, but they never ever give it their 100% because in the back of their minds, they think that it won't work. I'm telling you, you have to believe that whatever it is that you are doing will succeed or can succeed. If you doubt it in any way, then doubt will continue to grow and eat into your focus and resolve. Eventually, you find yourself unable to put in the amount of time and focus your project needs to succeed. You need to believe in 3 things. First, you need to believe that this business model will work. Second, you need to believe that you can make it work. I'm not talking about other people. I'm not talking about outsourcing the work. I'm talking about you, yourself, can make it work. And third, you have to believe that this is worth committing to. It's one thing to focus on a project on a one-shot, big-shot kind of basis. You basically throw a lot of energy to it on day one and hope that you put in so much work that that work will carry you through the rest of the journey. It doesn't work that way. Real businesses are like marriages. They require you to commit day after day, week after week, month after month. It's a long-term thing. It is a marathon. It is not a sprint. If you adopt these 3 mindsets, you increase your chances of success dramatically. Set aside the right amount of time. Logistically speaking, you have to schedule a fixed amount of time for your Instagram marketing efforts. The good news is that it doesn't have to eat up half your day. In fact, it doesn't even have to eat up a whole hour. As long as you stick to schedule, you will start to see results. How come? Well, you know that you only have, let's say, 15 minutes to focus on marketing. You keep trying it on a daily basis because you have chosen to be consistent. Eventually, things start to click and you are able to pack more activities within that 15-minute block. This leads to better results for you. Choose to be consistent. The bottom line is simple. You have to be consistent. Even if you can only afford to invest 15 minutes of your time every single day to your Instagram marketing efforts, that is plenty. The key here is the fact that you will always come back. The key here is that there is a sense of confidence in the fact that you will always step up to put in 15 minutes every single day. This can lead to amazing results because even though on the surface it doesn't seem like much time, the consistency makes you more disciplined. You're able to pack in a lot more focus and a lot more work within a fairly small time window. This leads to greater results. Also, your results tend to scale over time because you tend to do a better job. You are able to make better decisions. Document your efforts. I can't even begin to tell you how many good ideas most entrepreneurs think of in the span of a day. But the problem is, if you do not write down these ideas as you work on your Instagram marketing campaigns, you will forget about them. You won't be able to test them. And one of the most annoying things that can happen to you is when the idea that you thought of before keeps coming back, and then you forget it, and then when you're doing other stuff, it distracts you. You then focus your attention on it, then you forget it again, and on this ordeal goes. The end result is that you waste a tremendous amount of time, focus, and energy. Document your ideas. Pick out the best and try them out. If they don't work, that's fine. Move on. If they work, incorporate them in your daily activities. Measure success based on where you are in the development process. What if I told you that many people who fail in online marketing did not have to fail? Seriously, they gave up too quickly. You have to understand that quitting is the only way you can fail. The game is still not over if you're still in the game. If you're still throwing punches, you're still in the ring. But the moment you throw in the towel and you leave the ring, the game is over. You failed. The problem is when people work on a particularly big project, and believe me, online marketing is one of those projects, they measure themselves using the wrong standards. They just got started, and they start counting how much money they're making. Obviously, they're not making any money. So what happens when you do this? Well, you discourage yourself. You keep repeating to yourself, you're putting all this time, focus, and energy, and you have very little to show for it. You're not making any money. Eventually, your resolve gives way. You sabotage your passion when you do this. Instead of immediately thinking about how much money you have made when you just started your online business, focus instead on where you are. Measure your success based on the stage of development you're in. This way, if I just put up a website, my measure of success would be how many pieces of content do I have up? Are all the links working? Do I have a nice graphic? Is my website easy to find? Did I set up SEO correctly? Are all my products imported properly? And once I have successfully answered yes to all those questions, then I move on to the next stage of the development, which is promotions. Do you see how this works? If you start an online project and you just jump straight ahead to the part where you're collecting all the big money, you are going to depress yourself. That's really what you're going to be doing. You're going to discourage yourself because, obviously, the big money doesn't appear then. It appears at the end of the process when everything else has been built up. Resolve to fail quickly. I know this sounds like a crazy piece of advice, but it is actually one of the most powerful pieces of money-making advice anybody can give you. Seriously. Why? Like I said earlier, in the span of a day, entrepreneurs come up with all sorts of crazy ideas on how to make more money with their business. A lot of these ideas, sadly, are half-baked. A lot of them make all sorts of faulty assumptions and they really are failures from the beginning. Now, instead of allowing yourself to get sucked in by all these ideas to the point where your focus and mental and emotional resources are drained, choose to explore the most powerful of them. Maybe if you have like 100 ideas in a week, pick 3 that you think have the highest chance of succeeding. Implement them in the next week. Put in all the right amount of time, focus, and energy. See if they actually work. If they don't, move on. Keep doing this until you find something that works and then scale it up. This is how you fail quickly. In this context, failure helps you because you keep throwing spaghetti at the wall. You keep experimenting until eventually you come up with something that works. When you find something that works, you scale it up, and this produces even more results. That's how you can turn quick failure into big-time success. Stay focused on conversions. It's easy to get hung up on success metrics that don't really matter. Seriously. The amount of traffic that you get ultimately doesn't matter. The amount of times people talk about your brand by itself ultimately doesn't matter. You know what matters? Money in your bank account. How do you get there? Sell more products. It doesn't get any simpler than that. That's the bottom line. This is why you have to focus on conversions. All your ad optimization, all your content marketing on Instagram, all your brand information, all of them must lead to conversions. Otherwise, you're doing something wrong. If you keep the ideas above in mind and you follow the tips that I've shared with you, you increase your likelihood of success. Again, you don't have to fail. You just have to have a game plan in front of you, and you have to choose to be consistent. This is a commitment. This is not something that you choose to do because it feels good. Step aside from your feelings and focus instead on your ability to commit.